Bringram Keshavajita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Vakara Kamala Bhare Nakam Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Adbhuta Singam Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanubringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Nrisingha Bhagavan ki jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Paribrajak Acharya Ashtotara Sata Shishima's Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai
Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai
ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai
Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai.
Jai
Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai.
Jai
Vrindavan Dham ki jai.
Jai
Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki jai.
Jai
Ganga Mai ki jai.
Jai
Jamuna Mai ki jai.
Jai
Tulsi Maharani ki jai.
Jai
Bhakti Devi ki jai.
Jai
Shamaveta Bhaktavrinda ki jai.
Jai
Gaur Premanande.
Hari
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Krishna
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna
All glory to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga Hari Hari Bo. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. Just a word about the Prima Dvani prayers. Do you know the Prima Dvani prayers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we just did. The Jayom, sometimes we call them the Jayom prayers. Prema Dvani means, Prema means love and Dvani means a vibration. So, you know, we chant those Prema Dvanis at the end of the kirtan. You know why?
To offer our respects and obeisances?
Yes, yes, yes. Any other reason?
No.
Because Srila Prabhupada did it. And so we follow in the footsteps of the founder Acharya. So even though, you know, usually the schedule was there would be greeting the deities, Srila Prabhupada would come back from his morning walk, around 7 o'clock, usually exactly at 7 o'clock. Then there'd be greeting of the deities. And after greeting the deities, there would be Guru Puja, singing Shri Guru Charana Padma. Before that, we sang Guru Vashtakam, but Shri Guru Charana Padma. And at the end of the Guru Puja, we always chanted Hare Krishna. It wasn't just we finished with the Guru Puja, but there was Hare Krishna Kirtan had to be there. And then after that Guru Puja, what was said?
Tulsi Aarti.
What's that?
Tulsi Aarti.
Good guess, but no.
Prima pairs?
Yes, Prima Dwani. And then, Srila Prabhupada, whoever was giving class, would also then chant Jai Radha Madhava. And after the Jai Radha Madhava, Srila Prabhupada would say,
Prema Dwani.
Yeah. So it seems like it's a little bit repetitious, you might think. Of course, people could say that about the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra too. But so the Prema Dwani was there after chanting Jai Radha Madhava, or if he chanted Parama Karuna or any other prayer, then they would chant the Prema Dwani. And sometimes we find devotees kind of do the Prema Dwani kind of like in a smorgasbord fashion, with kind of putting everything in any way, which is good, better than not doing it. But also there was a method, the sequence to it, and I recommend everybody learn the sequence. Yeah, it's started out with Jai Om Vishnu Pad, at the lotus feet of Vishnu, Paramahamsa, supreme topmost devotee, Paribrajak Acharya, who is also preaching all over the world, Paribrajak, Ashtotara Shata means 108 glories, Shri Srimad, and then in ISKCON we do Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, 108 glories, the topmost swan-like devotee who's preaching all over the world, Srila Prabhupada. So then sometimes people additionally put after Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, and sometimes Srila Gauri Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all those different names. And then after all those names in the Parampara disciplic succession, there's the Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. You know that one. And what does that mean? What is that?
All the Vaishnavas
All
that have come
glory,
before
the
us.
Ananta means
Ananta.
unlimited Vaishnavas. Right.
Koti means
Yeah, 10 millions. Right.
10 million.
Yeah. So then at a certain point, back in the 1980s, because they're all different new gurus in ISKCON, and sometimes the new gurus' names were chanted. Somebody thought, the GBC actually thought, well, what happens if down the line there's so many other gurus, and then they chant the Jai Om to this guru and that guru, but they leave out Srila Prabhupada. So the GBC made a decision that after Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda, you're supposed to say ISKCON founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Now, a lot of people don't do that. I know that. But the idea was because after the Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda, before that there could be a lot of different changes, but after Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda, these are the standard things that are going to go on forever, like Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur. So he's included always, right? No matter what. So that was the idea. And again, it might seem redundant or a little bit too much. You got Srila Prabhupada before and Srila Prabhupada after, but that was they decided that sometime in the 1980s. I don't think it was rescinded. Is Sue Devi here? Or she's on mute? Okay. Anyway, so then Namacharya Haridas Thakur, Prem se kaho, with love, say these names, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Sri Radha Krishna, and then you know what's next?
Gopi Gopinath.
Gopa, Gopinath, Radhakan, Shamakan, Yada Govardhanki.
Very good, very good. Sometimes people say Gopi Gopinath, and sometimes people say
Is it Gopa?
yeah, Gopa is
Gopinath.
the male devotee, the cowherd men and boys, and Gopi is the female ladies. So both of them, Gopa Gopinath, Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai, yeah. Then the places like Vrindavan Dham, Navadvip Dham. You know, Jayapataka Maharaj during around the time of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, he often chants the 9 islands of Navadvip around when he says Mayapur Dham, and sometimes they chant the 12 forests of Vrindavan when they go to Vrindavan to remember them. Then Ganga Mai, Jamuna Mai, there are other Mais too. Tulsi Devi. Go ahead. What's that?
Bhakti Devi.
Bhakti
Bhakti
Devi.
Devi. Yeah. And then you know the one right before all glories. Sama. How does it go?
Veda Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrindaki.
Vrindaki.
In the original, there was an original Hare Krishna songbook. You don't see it anymore because it was a handbook. It was called the Hare Krishna Handbook. And in that handbook, it said, we say that, they say it's Sama Veda, all glories to the Sama Veda. You know, there's 4 Vedas, Rik, Yajur, Atharva, and and Sama Veda. So I used to say that in the Hare Krishna Handbook, because they said that in the Sama Veda you'll find glories to the Lord. But actually that was a mistake. It's really Samaveta. You know, Samaveta means assemble. Everybody together. Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta. The same word, Samaveta. Samaveta Yuyutsava. So the people. Yeah, so that's just the Sanskrit for the assemble. Samaveta Bhakta Vrindaki Jaya. And then all glorious to Shiva. All glorious to assemble devotees. Okay. I just thought we just review that quickly.
Srila Prabhupada, when he started off, did he just offer his respects, Jam Vishnupad, Paramahamsa, Paribrajacharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj ki Jai? Is that how he started it?
Yes.
Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya.
Yeah, I never heard Srila Prabhupada add other acharyas after that, but he may have. It's certainly possible, especially on their appearance days and or disappearance days. But you know, and certainly there's nothing wrong with glorifying them by any means. But you know, we're just talking about that. Okay. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya
Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita
Jaya
Chandra Jaya Gaur.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri
Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
We're reading the Sri Caitanya Caritamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 20, and the text number is 172, huh?
171.
Or 171, okay, very good. Oh, this is in Bengali, yeah.
Bengali, yes. Shei Bopu, Shei Akriti. One second. What happened? Sorry. Shei Bopu, Shei Akriti, Prithok Jodi Bhashe, Bhavabesh Bhede Nam, Boibhav Prokashe.
If one form or feature is differently manifested according to different emotional features, it is called Swayam Prakash. Text 172.
অনন্ত প্রকাশে কৃষ্ণের নাহি মূর্তি ভেদ, আকার বর্ণ অস্ত্র ভেদে নাম বিভেদ.
When the Lord expands himself in innumerable forms, there is no difference in the forms, but due to different features, bodily colors, and weapons, the names are different. Then the text 173 is Sanskrit. Yeah. Anye cha sanskritatmano vidhina bhihitenante yajanti tvanmayastvam vai bahu murtyeka murtikam. In different Vedic scriptures, there are prescribed rules and regulative principles for worshiping different types of forms. When one is purified by these rules and regulations, he worships you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although manifest in many forms, you are one. Purport. This verse is quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 40th chapter, 7th verse. In the Vedas, it is stated that the one becomes many. Eko bahu shyam. Eko means one, bahu means many, and shyam, yes, Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expands himself in various forms. Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva. Do you know any other expansions of the Lord? It said, Parasya Shakti Vividaiva Shuyate. He has many energies. Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriya Cha. And just by his intent, things happen. Also, even though it's not his direct expansion, his separated expansions is the material energy. According to Vedic literatures, there are different regulative principles for the worship of each of these forms. If one takes advantage of the Vedic literatures and purifies himself by following the rules and regulations, ultimately he worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 11th verse, Mama Vardmanu Vartante Manushya Partha Sarvasya. That one means everybody is following my path. Worship of the demigods is, in a sense, worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But such worship is said to be avidhi purvakam, improper. Actually, demigod worship is meant for unintelligent men. One who is intelligent considers the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. One who worships demigods worships the Supreme Lord indirectly. But according to the revealed scriptures, there is no need to worship him indirectly. One can worship him directly. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada here is discussing the worship of demigods, which is, there's the three energies. There's the Vishnu, right? Vishnu Tattva. Then what were the other two tattvas? What was that?
Jiva Tattva and
Shakti Tattva.
Shakti Tattva.
Jiva Tattva and Shakti Tattva, right? So in the those three energies, where do the demigods fall?
Shakti Tattva?
Shakti Tattva and
Jiva Tattva?
Jiva Tattva. Yes, 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 yes. So, for example, Lord Brahma or Lord Indra, they're Jiva Tattva, and Shakti Tattva is,
Shiva.
well, Shiva's a little
Balaram?
bit.
Balaram is Krishna Tattva.
Yeah, Balaram. No,
Is Vishnu
Shakti
Tattva.
Tattva. Shakti Tattva will be, you know, the expansions of Lakshmi Devi in the material world, who is Durga. Yeah. So those different. So according to the different categories, they're worshipped differently, and in the Vedas, there are elaborate descriptions about how to worship those different demigods to get the result of worshiping them. For example, in Navadvip, during the time Lord Chaitanya was present, he had one of his followers was Srivas Pandit. Like we say, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivas. So anyway, in the Brahmin society, he was a respected Brahmin, but there was another person who was a bit envious of him. So what he did was one day, he, in the evening time, he put all the articles of worship for goddess Kali just outside his gate in his house. So when people were walking by in the morning, they were seeing all these articles of worship of Kali, and they were thinking, oh, Srivas Thakur is now a Kali worshipper. And so at least at that time, people thought that the Kali worshippers or worshippers of Durga Kali were a little bit lower class than the Brahminical class. So that was considered an offense by that person. Anyway, but the rules that they put out, there was some vermilion, there was some alcohol out there, and some other things that they used to worship. So every demigod has their particular type of worship, and the Vedic rituals are there, and often they're recommended for worshiping demigods. But if you take a step back from all these instructions for the various demigods, and you'll find that altogether the purpose of the Vedas is to come to the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether it's through yoga, whether it's through gyan, whether it's through worship. The purpose of all that is to come to worship and serve in love the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the verse there is in Bhagavad Gita that all the purposes of the small wells can be accomplished by going to the big reservoir of water. So, like in not so much in the United States, but traditionally in villages in India, they might have one well that was good for washing. The water was good for washing, right? But it's not for drinking. It's too salty. So there was that well, and there was another well for the drinking, and different wells could be used for different things. But if you go to the big reservoir of water, as long as it's not polluted, then you can take care of all your needs. Similarly, people often worship the various demigods for certain purposes. They can worship Ganapati to become wealthy and to get over obstacles. They worship Lord Shiva to get a good husband, or the Shiva Linga, or they worship Uma to have a good wife, and these things. But the purpose of all that kind of worship is to bring one to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to surrender unto Him. Because Krishna says that the results of worshiping the demigods are limited and temporary. So why would anybody want limited and temporary benefits? Well, we all do in this material world. People are looking for that. But an intelligent person thinks, if I want to get something, let's get something that can be permanent. And that permanent thing is a loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Questions, comments, corrections?
So, Satyanarayan Puja, is that, verse 172 says, when the Lord expands himself in innumerable forms, there is no difference in the forms, but due to different features, bodily colors, and weapons, the names are different. Is that how we should see Satyanarayan Puja, or is that still... I know when we do Satyanarayan Puja, it is still asking for material benedictions. It's asking for definitely wealth. And so we're asking for impermanent benedictions. But when we're praying to Satyanarayana, is it... how do I say this? How do we look at Satyanarayan Puja then?
We look at it as motivated service.
Motivated service.
Yeah. So, I mean, Srila Prabhupada used to comment about Christianity, saying, praying, "Oh Lord, give us this day our
daily bread."
Daily bread, yeah. So he said, that's better than not. The communists made a policy. They would say, okay, go to the church and pray for bread. And then the people would come out of the church and they would say, the communists would say, "Oh, so did you get bread?" And they say, "Well, no, we didn't get any bread." And say, so ask us. "Oh, dear communist people, give us bread." And so they bring in the trucks. They bring in the trucks and here's the bread. So people didn't ask, where did they get the bread from? But anyway, the idea is that we're praying for material things. That's better to God. That's better than not, but it's not recommended in Bhagavad Gita. That's mixed or not pure devotional service. So it's there, but Srila Prabhupada, or we never see Lord Chaitanya having Satyanarayan Puja. We don't see Srila Prabhupada doing Satyanarayan, or any of the acharyas that I'm aware of. I suppose it might be possible, but doing that's kind of like the business. And of course, when we begin devotional service, we all have these material desires we want to fulfill by approaching God. But our prayer is that we can reduce those to nil so we can actually develop Krishna consciousness. So therefore, we don't do Satyanarayan Puja in the temple. Although I saw in a couple of temples in different places that they do Satyanarayan Puja, but we never did that during the Prabhupada time. Somebody else have a statement about that? Sudevi?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yes, Satyanarayan is Vishnu. Narayan
Yes.
is Vishnu. So you can worship Vishnu, you just don't ask anything material.
Sure. So worship of Satyanarayan or Narayan is wonderful, but the method of worship we recommend that's recommended by the acharyas is What?
without motivation and uninterrupted.
Yeah, and beginning with hearing and chanting, Sankirtan, and then the other things are there. But for Krishna's pleasure, not so we get stuff. And
And also, Prabhu, there's this verse that Krishna says, Akama, Sarva Kama, Moksha
Yes.
Kama.
Yes.
That in any condition, we just have to worship Krishna when you want, full of material desire, without any material desire, or for liberation, everything, you have to worship only Krishna.
Yes. So one could take that. So I got material desire. So why don't we take a little time off and worship Satyanarayana and get what we need, and we can go ahead. But we never did that. No, that's never recommended anywhere by Srila Prabhupada or any Acharya. But if you have desire, yeah. But the point is to worship Krishna, and then you'll be purified from that material desire. Because as long as we have a pinch of material desire, we're going to hang around in this material world, and it's getting worse here in the material world, and it's going to get worse for many, as time progresses. So better business is to finish up our business here and go back to Godhead.
Yeah, I was just trying to place the puja. It said over here, worshipping demigods, and so I was just trying to figure out.
Yes. No, your question is good. It's a good question. Very good question. I hope I'm not suppressing your good questions. That's very good.
One thing about Satyanarayana Puja is
This is Krishna Kirtan.
Yes, for Hare Krishna. Please accept my businesses. I don't know. It is even worshipping of the Vishnu has to be done as a vidhi purvakam. No, avidhi purvakam is inappropriate. But I'm not sure if anywhere. First of all, where the name Satyanarayana comes from. All the scriptures we don't hear. Okay, that's Satyanarayana. The name comes from where it is coming from. Is it bona fide name or not? That is one thing.
From the Purana, isn't it?
Yes, there's a certain Purana that's described. We could do some research. I mean, I don't remember the specific details. If somebody wants to do Satyanarayana Puja.
And the second thing is about ISKCON, some of the ISKCON temples performing Satyanarayana Puja is, I think it's not they're performing Satyanarayana Puja just to somehow attract the congregation. They may be hosting, okay, at least they will come to the temple. That's the, nowadays the audience is different. Somehow they're hosting this, so at least they will come and darshan associate with the Krishna consciousness. That's the purpose.
Yeah, so I know that. The question might be, is that the kind of thing that ISKCON does? I mean,
I do. When people come and ask me Satyanarayana Puja, I do, but I don't do the Satyanarayana Puja. By the name of Satyanarayana Puja, we worship Lord Vishnu, picture, but we worship our Krishna conscious stories. And at the same time, the stories which they speak in Satyanarayana Katha, I don't know if it's a bona fide story or not, because just wanted to share. People are acquainted with that, but we do, without rejecting the people, we still take it, but we do our kirtan, arti, and worship Krishna or Vishnu there.
Yeah, so you do kirtan, and you do kirtan, which is usually Hare Krishna, and the Hare Krishna kirtan means, "O Lord, O energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service." So, I mean, one can. There were people who followed Satyanarayana Katha and Puja back during Srila Prabhupada's day, and there were maybe not as many today as are today in the United States, but there were people who wanted to do Satyanarayana Puja at that time too. So I don't have any specific quotes about this from Srila Prabhupada, but I can check and find out if there's some other details that we could think. But so the point being that that may be one, you're saying that you want to attract people by giving them the opportunity to do Satyanarayana Puja, but then give them Krishna consciousness, chanting, kirtan, etc. instead. Yeah, okay. Other questions, statements? Oh,
Prabhu, this is Vrindavaneshwari. I have a question not related to the Satyanarayan thing, but related to the verse.
okay.
So I had said Balaram in response to your question of expansions, but that was wrong. So the Sankarshan expansion then, so that was kind of my question. What is the Sankarshan? Can you explain that to me?
This stuff, thank you for your question. This
Sorry.
stuff is, oh no, very good. It's very advanced stuff. There's a reason why the Caitanya Caritamrita is considered the postgraduate study of Krishna consciousness. So, you know, there are various Sankarshans. Mahasankarshan is also known as Mahavishnu. And then he expands as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. And then Garbhodakshay Vishnu expands as Kshirodakshay Vishnu. So that's in the material world, but in the spiritual world, the first expansion from Lord Krishna is who's that?
Balaram.
Lord Balaram, right, Balaram. And so Lord Balaram is Vaibhava Prakash. Prakash. So we learned last time about Swayam Prakash. So Swayam Prakash are the expansions of Krishna, like when he had the rasa dance or when he was living in Dwarka in the different palaces. He had all the same exact features, and even though he was doing different things. So Vaibhava Prakash means there's a little bit different. That's Lord Balaram. But he still has all the qualities, practically all the qualities of Krishna. Sometimes we say the only difference between Lord Krishna and Balaram are?
Color.
What's that? Yeah, Balarama is moonlight color and Krishna is Shyama. Yeah, and they wear a little bit different clothing, so that's so Balaram expands as the first chapter view. Go ahead. Somebody was saying?
Yeah, so is that why you were telling the quadruple?
Yeah, the first quadruple expansion is coming from Balaram, which is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So that's one. So then actually then the Sankarshan in that Chaturyuha expands as Narayan. And Narayan is like the predominator of the spiritual world, the Vaikuntha planets, we're saying. There's a separate quarter in the spiritual world, which is Goloka Vrindavan or Krishna Loka, and there's different categories in there. There's Mathura is there, and Dvaraka is there, and Goloka and Goloka Vrindavan is there. So then that Shankarshan expands as Narayan. That Narayan expands as a second Chaturyuha, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And the Sankarshan in that second Chaturyuha expands as Mahavishnu. So then the question is, which Sankarshan are we talking about? Because just like in this world, there's people who have the same name, but they're different people. So similarly, there's a Govinda in these Vaikuntha planets, but that's not the same Govinda as the Govinda in Goloka Vrindavan. So then the question is, you asked the question about Sankarshan, so I have to ask, which Sankarshan?
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's a little tricky. That's the tricky part.
I need like a tree or something, like a flow chart or diagram for all this.
Yes. Bhakti Vikas Swami has this big diagram thing of the spiritual and material world that I think there's a copy of it in the
Sunday school.
In the back Sunday school classroom. Yeah.
So we would think that wow, it should be really simple for us, so us simpletons can understand it very easily. But actually, this is highly complex how things work in the spiritual world, and it's all happening just by Krishna's will. These amazing expansions and activities and qualities are going on, and it's not easy to get at least for my thick brain to understand it, but I'm trying. And so part of it is it's good just to hear it, and we may not be able to understand it right now, but just by hearing it, we can get purified, because these are the words of Lord Krishna himself as Lord Chaitanya.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
There's as you mentioned, Sankarsana has many functions. One is incarnations, other one is in the form of sesa. He's serving the lords paraphernalia. And also in one other meaning of Sankarsana, is in Krishna book, it mentions, right, that when he's referring the name of Balram
Yes.
as a Sankarsana, because he brings, so isn't it the Sankarsana also that which keeps the attraction and the centripetal force, which keeps things binding?
Yes. Yes, good point. Good point,
Yeah.
Krishna Kirtan Prabhu.
You can elaborate on that.
No, that's you did a very good job. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's when Gargamuni came to do the name-giving ceremony you're talking about, right?
Yes, and
Yes,
that,
yes.
and also in the universal creations, also how all these planets and everything is kind of the binding force in everything is because of the Sankarsana.
Okay. So other statements or questions?
Also, it's not like Balram is expansion, all the paraphernalia, like you say, the Medanga, the Sesanag, and all the paraphernalia that we use for Krishna, the expansion of Balram.
That's why they call it a Balaram Mridanga, right?
Yeah.
And so those are all expansions of different ways that Sankarshan, and the original Sankarshan is Balaram, engages in service to the Lord Krishna. Ekala Ishwar Krishna Arshab Britta. I don't know if I'm saying the Bengali right, but there's one supreme Lord, and that's Krishna, and all others are servants, even Balaram. So in the Caitanya Caritamrita, there's one of the chapters specifically focuses on Lord Nityananda's identity with Balaram and Sankarshan. That's very elaborately described there. Thank you. Shall we do another prayer for Bhakti Charuswami? Yes, I think so.
Yes, please. Please.
Is Sudevi still there?
Yeah.
She's here. Yep, she's unmuted too. Sudev, you're unmuted.
Sudevi. Mother Sudevi.
Maybe she muted her phone on her
Okay.
end.
Okay. So, oh Lord Krishna,
Oh Lord,
Oh Lord Krishna,
Lord Chaitanya,
Lord Chaitanya,
and Lord Nrsingadev,
and Lord Nrsingadev, please
cure Bhakti Charuswami,
cure Bhakti
Lord Bhakti
Charuswami,
Charuswami.
His Holiness Bhakti Charuswami,
His Holiness
His
Bhakti
Holiness
Charuswami,
Bhakti Charuswami.
so he can continue
so he can continue
preaching
preaching
and spreading your Krishna consciousness movement
and spreading your Krishna consciousness movement
in this material world.
in this material world.
You want to lead the prayer, Vrindavaneshwari? Should we sing the string of prayers?
Oh, sure. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladadaine.
Praladadaine.
Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha.
Hiranyakashipur Bhakshaha.
Srinatankanakale.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Ito Nrsimho Parato Nrsimho.
Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimho.
Yato yato yamin yato na shingho.
Yato yami tato nishingha.
Bahir na shingho, hiraye na shingho.
Bahir Shingho, Hridaye Shingho.
Nishring hamadim sharanam prapade.
Nishing Hamadim Sharanam Prapade.
Avatava kabala hare nakam. Abuta shringham. Dalita hiranya kashipu. Tanubringham. Keshavadrita. Narahari Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare.
Sakara Kamara Bade, Nakam Adbhuta Shringha. Dalita Hiranya Kashipu. Tanubringa. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa. Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare.
Jayana Shringa Dev, Jayana Shringa Dev, Jayana Shringa Dev, Jayana Shringa Dev.
Jayana Singha Dev, Jayana Singha Dev, Nrsimha Dev, Jayana Singha Dev.
Nrsimha Deva Ki.
Hey, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Do you have any announcements, Is Dronacharya Prabhu there?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Just today's Ekadasi.
Oh, yeah.
And tomorrow there's a very small window for breaking fast. According to the calendar, it's from 5:36 to 5:49.
Wow.
Which is a little different than usual. Usually we have a couple hours. So those that observe the break fast time and are stringent about it, just pay careful attention to that time.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Have a good, wonderful, Krishna-filled day.
Oh, one other thing too is Haryashva Prabhu is having surgery today, so please keep him in your prayers as he's going through surgery. So,
what hospital?
He's in Temple University.
Okay.
So please keep him in your prayers today while he's going through surgery, that he comes out safely and has a quick recovery.
Do you know the time?
He was due at the hospital at 9:45 today, and then he doesn't know exactly what time surgery is, but he has to be there at 9:45 today.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, he's going to be texting myself and Drona and letting us know of his, but Vishnu will also keep us in the loop too. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.